Hello, welcome back. I am Rachel if you're new here, and this is going to be a sit-down video all about pregnancy, twin pregnancy, for my 4th and 5th babies. That sounds so weird to say out loud, 4th and 5th. And specifically pregnancy with my 4th and 5th babies between the weeks of 12 and 14. I think I finished my last update at 12 weeks. I was just like 12 and a half weeks. Tomorrow I will be 15 weeks. So I really kept some notes over the last few weeks, and just, I didn't do this with my singleton pregnancy, and now I kind of wish I had, because I was really good about documenting almost weekly through my first pregnancy with my first set of twins. It is so nice to go back and just kind of compare. It was also really nice then to find other women who were going through pregnancy and just kind of see what was coming. I followed a few twin moms while I was pregnant with my first twins that I've remained, almost friends with through social media, and it's just really nice to have like somebody to talk to. The twin mom club is growing, but it's still not very big, so having some, women that can relate to a twin pregnancy is really nice. There is a huge difference between a twin pregnancy and a singleton pregnancy, and I can say that from experience. Pregnancy, no matter what, isn't easy. Twin pregnancy is on another level. Anyway, weeks 12 through 14. I'm gonna try not to sound really gripey and complaining, but as I always say, pregnancy for me is not a walk in the park. It's not a piece of cake. What's another, what are those things called? Idioms? Pregnancy is not easy for me. I don't enjoy pregnancy. I'm gonna come off like I'm complaining a whole lot. Just know that I'm very grateful. I'm so grateful that I'm literally crying daily, just in small moments of realizing how grateful I am. Grateful I am. I guess I'm craving ham. Grateful for the kids that I have in my home currently. Grateful for the kids that I will have in my home soon. I'm gonna start crying just thinking about how grateful I am and how wonderful it is to watch a child grow up from the front row. There's nothing like it. There's definitely frustrating moments with young children, but man, it is magic to be in the presence of a child that is totally innocent and that is so impressionable and learning everything every day. It's magical. I'm so appreciative that I get to do that. I'm appreciative that I get to do this over and over again. Another set of twins. I'm just so excited. All of this is worth it, hands down. There's no question about it. Pregnancy sucks, but it is so worth it. So anyway, if you're kind of in the thick of it, if you're in weeks 12 through 14 and you found this video because you're like, I'm dying and I need some hope, that's your hope. Okay, let's get to the point here. Weeks 12 through 14. I haven't looked over my notes, so this is going to be sort of fresh for me because I forget. I forget what happened what week, and I don't know what happened yesterday, so I'm glad I take pretty detailed notes. We're gonna be kind of experiencing, what was weeks 12 through 14? We're gonna be experiencing this together. I can't read my handwriting though. Better. Oh, I got better, then I got sick again. Okay, so that's right. So week probably 12, I would say, is when I started to feel better. I had it down when to take my Zofran so that I would feel almost no sickness all day long. So grateful that Zofran worked for me, and I didn't have to take very much of it. It wasn't like I was taking a full dose every, I don't know what the recommended dosage is, but every 8 hours or something. I would take a half of a tablet before bed, or at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Before bed, if I felt sick before bed, maybe at 3 o'clock in the morning, I would take another half of a tablet, and that was pretty much it. If I forgot to take it before bed and at 3 o'clock, sometimes I'd have to take it in the morning. And most of the time I was okay with that. One evening, I think I had to take it later in the evening, just like not long after dinner. I started feeling sick again, and so I took one then, but for the most part, I had it down. I ate healthy for that week. I didn't eat Chef Boyardee spaghetti, which has been my ultimate craving is Italian. And not just any Italian. It's not only Chef Boyardee, and it's not only like fine dining Italian, it's any and all Italian, any of it. The more garlic the better, the more marinara the better. I will say nothing like, not a creamy sauce Italian, it has to be marinara based pasta dishes. My mouth is watering thinking about it. We went to a pretty nice Italian restaurant up in Kansas City, and it was, the lasagna was not what I expected the lasagna to be. It was very weird, and it was very disappointing. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So anyway, I got better for a week where I was eating spinach and pesto. Pesto is not on my good list anymore. Really good, healthy things. I was eating normal. I was eating like my own self. I was just feeling really good. Then we went to Branson and I forgot my Zofran. The ride down, I was doing a lot of work in the car, so I wasn't really watching the road, and that made me really car sick, and it just all went downhill from there. I didn't feel well basically the entire time we were in Branson. Threw up quite a few times like that next morning before we went home. We were staying in an Airbnb doing all of the fun Christmas Branson things. Threw up a bunch at the Airbnb, came home. I think I took Zofran when we got home, but like I took a nap just to try to feel better. And then that evening I started throwing up and didn't stop until 1 in the morning. And I was just laying on the bathroom floor. I know what you're thinking. You're probably like, maybe you had a stomach bug. There is no chance that one person in our household can have a stomach bug and not everybody can get it. And like, that is isolated. Did I say that correctly? There's no chance that only one of us can get a stomach bug unless maybe we completely quarantine, which is impossible for any of us. So it wasn't stomach, it was definitely like pregnancy related, but that was awful. And now I'm kind of getting back to the point where I feel better. I had a dental appointment this morning and they were all up in my mouth and I wasn't gagging, so that's good. A week ago, 2 weeks ago, that would have been a nightmare. The next thing I have is round ligament pain. Oh my goodness. I've totally forgotten about round ligament pain. It'll take your breath away. And most of the time it happens when I'm in bed and I am half asleep, rolling over to my other side. And I say rolling like that because that's really what it feels like I'm doing already. Rolling over to my other side and then it'll catch or whatever it does. And oh my Lord, it is intense. If you don't know what round ligament pain is, it's this like sharp lightning bolt in your, I don't think it's the same as lightning crotch, and I don't even really know what that is, but it's like right underneath your hip bones, kind of in between your hip bones and your groin, I guess, right in there, and it's sharp, and oh my gosh, it'll take your breath away. That and sciatic nerve pain. I have this exact stretch that my aunt taught me for sciatic nerve pain where you, whatever side it is, you bend that knee and rest your ankle on your knee, your other knee, and then you hold the doorknob and kind of sit into the stretch. That helps tremendously. I'm just gonna show you what I mean because it's really hard to explain, and I'm using it all the time. Because like if I call it a hitch in my giddy up, if I step wrong and I get the sciatic nerve pain, it's almost like I can't walk for a little bit until I get it relieved. So this is, if you have sciatic nerve pain, mine's usually on this side. You take that affected side, put your ankle on your knee, and then like sit into it, and you'll feel it stretch all through here. Makes a world of difference. It makes it to where I can walk again after I have an episode. Hopefully you could see what I was doing there. Do you guys miss the fire? I do. It was really cold the last couple of days, but today it's not a fire day. It's like 45 out, maybe 50. Yeah, 51. It would just get way too hot in here if we tried to have a fire. I had another episode of that benign positional paroxysmal vertigo. Man, that is annoying. If you suffer with that regularly, I feel so bad for you because it is, I really hate it when that happens. It basically, if I move my head like this, I have a couple of seconds where I feel really dizzy. And it's not even dizzy, it's not like spinning, it's just disoriented, not normal feeling. It's really annoying. Not debilitating though. I know some people have vertigo that is truly debilitating, so I'm thankful it's not that. I do know that this is what it is because of the symptoms, and then also the treatment is the Dix-Hallpike maneuver, I think is what it's called. And my Aunt Laurie did that on me and it made it worse. And I did it one more time and it got way worse, almost vomited, and then it got better. So that is almost diagnostic of BPPV, is that you do this maneuver and it makes it like worse and then it gets better. I feel super pregnant already, probably starting at about week 12. I'm out of breath. I feel like I have no space. I'll be very, very hungry and eat a little bit and I'm full. I have trouble getting up off the floor. I have trouble rolling over in bed. I have zero abdominal control, like when I try to sit up from a laying position. I don't know, it is bizarre. This has never happened to me this early. It's like, I didn't start feeling this pregnant until week 30, probably, for my previous 2 pregnancies. And I'm not even halfway to week 30. It's insane. I don't know why. I don't know how to explain it. It's just, I just feel super pregnant. Getting out of a car is hard. If it's like a low car, I have a hard time getting out of it. Even if I stand for a really long time, you get that pressure, like that weight that something's gonna fall out. Like that feeling I have already, just like my ankles and knees, excuse me, ankles and knees hurt. Yeah, so that's happening already. And then the fact that I'm craving pasta is weird. I don't think I did that with either of my first 2 pregnancies. I'm not craving sweets at all, which is also very weird. That's strange. All I wanted, I think, with the twins was frosting. I would want a cupcake, but I wouldn't want the cupcake part. All I'd want was the frosting. That is not the case this time. It's almost an aversion, which is so weird. It's like I'm not actively pursuing desserts and sweets. I almost truly have an aversion to chocolate, which is so weird. Like I got the C's candy. I don't know if you guys saw that vlog where I couldn't figure out why we got C's candy, and it looked like I had ordered it and I had paid for it and everything, but I had no recollection of it. Turns out I had ordered it through a fundraiser from somebody that reached out on Instagram, and oh, it was just hilarious. But it was a box of dark chocolate that I had a hard time enjoying. I mean, I enjoyed them, don't worry, but I had to really like push myself to enjoy them because I just haven't really been in the mood for chocolate. Emotionally, I'm good. Emotionally, I'm like much better. In terms of anxiety and depression and things like that, so much better than my pregnancy with Eloise. And I attribute that 100% to the fact that I'm talking with a therapist and I'm taking medication that she has prescribed for me that is, the benefits of it outweigh the risks. Anyway, I'm on my medication and I'm talking with her, and it's been mentally a night and day difference between the 2 pregnancies. I was great with the twins. I had nothing like this. I had no, maybe I did and I just didn't, I don't know. We were in South Carolina when I was pregnant with the twins, so we weren't around family. So if I was being really reclusive, I wouldn't have known it. Maybe I was. With Eloise, I was reclusive. I did not want to be around my family, and that is so unlike me. And this pregnancy, I'm pretty normal. I mean, I'm maybe not as keen to, like, every year we do something called the Christmas tree crawl, and it's super fun. And we do like a progressive dinner from house to house, and there's usually like a signature cocktail at each stop that you go to, and I was not interested at all in doing that. But I think that's more because like I can't drink, and so being around a lot of people that are progressively dining and drinking didn't sound like a really fun thing. But I don't know that it was as much that I didn't want to be around them. So anyway, that's a lot better. I am emotional in the sense that like things are making me cry very, very easily, which is kind of annoying if you're trying to keep it together for some certain reason. But I think that is it for weeks 12 through 14. I was thinking a lot about my birth experience with the twins and how different it was from my birth experience with Eloise. And it's weird because both of them were a scheduled C-section, but they were vastly different for like the 12 to 24 hours after the C-section. With the twins, I have really fuzzy memories for the first 12 hours of their life, and I hate it. It's almost good that I was completely ignorant going into their birth, because if I had known what the birth experience could be, and then had what I had with Berend Lyndle, it might have been really, really like traumatic or disappointing, but I had no idea what to even expect. So to me, it was a normal experience. I just thought this is what happens when you have the medications that you have during a C-section. But it's weird because I didn't have that at all with Eloise. As soon as the C-section was over and I was done throwing up from like actively being in a C-section, I was 100% normal. I didn't have like post C-section sickness. I wasn't exhausted like I was with the twins. Mentally, I was 100% sharp. I remember everything. And I had like that golden hour moment, which I didn't know was a thing until after Eloise was born. I didn't even know, like I knew I was euphorically happy right after she was born up until like a day later. I mean, you're in newborn endorphin bubble, but it was so different than what I experienced with the twins. I didn't even know what to attribute it to. And then later my friend Tristan was talking about like she was getting ready to have her first child and was asking me about the golden hour and like what specifically I recommended for her to do or to like ask for at the hospital. And I had to Google what the golden hour was. I didn't even realize it was a thing. So it's just weird now looking back, knowing that like I missed out on that with Berend Lyndle. And of course, now that they're almost 4 years old, it's not like we've had any trouble connecting. It's not like we're not bonded as well as I am with Eloise, but that first couple hours after birth, having that euphoria there's nothing like it. And I'm just sad that like I didn't have that with Berend Lyndle now that I know what it's like, I guess. So I think it's pretty much out of your control as far as whether you get that experience or not. I think it has a lot to do with the circumstance around your birth, maybe the medications that you get. I don't know that there's anything that I can do to ensure that this next birth is more like Eloise's, less like the one with the twins in terms of like that first day or so of their life. But what I am going to do, Alexa, off. I'm doing the 12 dozen cookies for Berend Lyndle's preschool bake sale. So I have some cookies in the oven, but I'll wrap this up pretty quickly here. What I am gonna do though is call, this is really easy to do so I don't feel like it's, you know, being controlling or going over the top, but I just can anticipate somebody being like, "This, you have no control over this, stop stressing about it." But if you know what it's like to have that experience and then to not have that experience and know the difference between those two, you're gonna do everything you can to try to make sure you have the experience. Trust me. So anyway, my hospital that I had Berend Lyndle at is in South Carolina, and I'm trying to get my records from them just to see if there's any major difference in what medications were given to me during the C-section. And I feel like there's gotta be slight differences between hospitals and anesthesiologists, but maybe there's something that they gave me to like help with nausea that wasn't Zofran or something, or anxiety. Maybe they knew I had tendency to anxiety and they gave me something that knocked me out for 12 hours essentially. So I'm just gonna look and maybe give those notes to the anesthesiologist I have here and just see if there's anything that they can see that was different that could have caused that experience. And if it can be avoided, 100%, I'm gonna try to avoid being out of it for a day after my children are born. So anyway, that is pretty much it for the 12 to 14 week update. If you have any like birth story experiences that you want to share in the comments, I love reading them and I know other people do too. So let this be a video that we can all kind of uplift each other and know that you don't have a whole lot of control over your birth experience, I guess. I mean, you can try and you can hope for things, but ultimately it comes down to the safest way to get the baby here or babies here. And sometimes that's at the cost of mental clarity in the moment, I guess. So share experiences. It can be cathartic and like therapeutic to share that. If yours wasn't a euphoria golden hour moment, it's not like that's wrong. It's just different, and it might be something that you need to work through and talk through and share and let other people kind of share with you maybe that they had a similar experience. So let's be uplifting, let's be positive, and don't use the comments as a place to vent hatred, and I don't know, let's just be kind. Okay, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and you can kind of follow us while we build a bus, build a house, have babies, seek adventures, do all of those things and love each other intensely while we do it. And I'll see you in our next video.